don't think I do it.
Arsenal started like house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It's only been about a couple of hours since we're back. Obviously, we had the watch-along earlier on, and Leeds United lost to Manchester United 2-0 at Elland Road. I put my post-match out. It's getting a lot of love, so thank you for that. Also getting a lot of comments from Manchester United fans, which is tough to take on the watch-along specifically, but it is what it is. It's part of the game. We're back, though, with another manager update, if you like. Alfred Schreuder seems to be Leeds United's man, and it's been met with masses of disapproval from Leeds United fans. I've taken some time to dig and try find some information on Alfred Schreuder, and we'll have a chat about that. Ultimately, he failed at Ajax and has failed at a number of places, and we'll go through that with a fine-tooth comb. But he was obviously well thought of enough to succeed Ten Hag, and the noise coming prior to that appointment was that it was the right decision. Obviously, it didn't go well for him at Ajax. I'd love to say that's an anomaly, but Club Brugge aside, he's not done well at many clubs he's been at. Good tactician, good coach, it would seem, because he's had a lot of top coach jobs, being number 2s. But whenever he's been promoted to the top job, it's never gone well for him. Whether or not that's down to man management, not being able to get his ideas across potentially. As a coach, like I say, has got a decent record, if you like, being at Barcelona, Ajax, FC20. He was there with Steve McLaren back in 15-16, whenever that was. Did well at Club Brugge. But like I say, when he got the top job, whenever he's done well, or whenever he's been fought well enough to get the top job, it's not gone well for him. That's why we were in Amsterdam the other day, says Danny Rumsey. That's a great shout. Obviously, maybe we went over to speak to Arne Slot, and this happened. And look, the fact, people, we have to get on board with it, because the fact it was at Elland Road today says, for me, it's almost done. There were talk of them getting a deal done soon. They've obviously gone after all their preferred options: Iraola, Gallardo, Arne Slot, even Carlos Corberán. You know, I just laugh at the people who told me we never wanted Corberán. When now, look, we've gone from going from managers that were all in work to now a manager that's not in work. It stinks of Thomas Christensen. It stinks of Paul Heckingbottom. It stinks of Jesse Marsh. Of course, if he gets the job, which it's looking highly likely that he will, I will back him, because we need to see what he's going to give us on the pitch. He could come in and we could absolutely batter Everton, and we'll all be like, oh, you know, this was a great acquisition. But like Tashirna says, it's a Victor Orta reclamation project all over again, especially when you consider, you know, and this is mad that I'm saying this, but Nuno is out there. Rafa Benitez is out there. I would rather them come in with their woeful brand of football than this guy. But again, did I know about him before yesterday? No. But everything that you read, it doesn't make for positive reading, and it's never gone well for him. Well, have a look at his record. I think this is the main look. He's worked under some great coaches. He's worked under Ten Hag. He's worked under Julian Nagelsmann. He's worked under Ronald Koeman. All at their respective clubs. Like I say, at Barcelona, for example, with Ronald Koeman. He was at Hoffenheim with Nagelsmann, and at Ajax with Ten Hag. So he's clearly good at his job. Just, is he good enough for the top job? Maybe not. You know, a lot was said about Steve McLaren, for example. Steve McLaren was perennially a good coach. Whenever he stepped up, it didn't really work out for him. How he got the England jobs beyond me. I suppose you could say the same of is it Clements, who was at Chelsea all them time, who went to Real Madrid with Carlo Ancelotti. He got the job at Derby for a period and just absolutely bombed. I think he went up to Scotland, bombed. You know, there's just some managers who are better at being number twos. Like Lodi said, I think there's people who would rather have Gerrard than Schreuder. At least he's got Premier League experience, if you like. Jeff O'Toole says 6-month contract. I'm not too sure. Listen, from what I'm reading and how well thought of is as a coach, I'm like, my thought process is, are the club looking to bring him in till the end of the season on the hope that he keeps us up and then make him number two to Slot, to Gallardo, to, you know, Iraola, potentially. But like TB says, it is an impressive CV from a coaching perspective. But whenever he's got the top job, it's not gone well for him. And that's a worry because he'd be coming into Leeds United as the top job. Do you know what else it stinks of? It stinks of Ranić. It stinks of Ranić going to Manchester United. That's what it stinks of for me. Russ Vernon says, I'm told Schreuder is a definite contender for the vacant managerial job at Elland Road. Also told the board are very divided at the minute. Seems to be the case. It's Rad's crew versus 49ers. And at this stage, I'm saying back the 49ers. Because by all accounts, there was a lot of dispute over Gio Rutter. And Orta was the one pushing Gio Rutter. Now, it's too early to say, but he does not look good. Not for a player that we've spent our record on. I'm sorry. He looks like he can't even run. I don't know what running style he's got. I don't know. And he's our record signing. That's what worries me. I think the worrying thing, and I said this in my post-match, Aaronson and Rutter came off the bench, knowing they cost about 50 million combined. They made us worse. All this chat of getting rid of the old guard, without them, without Ayling, without Bamford, without Harrison, who everyone wants sold. Come on. It's true though, right? Let's be real here. Let's be real, people. Because without them on the pitch, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, no, I agree, Mark. I know he needs time. I'm not writing him off. Let me just say that. Like, people hear what you're saying and think it's like a blanket statement. I know he needs time. I know, but all I'm saying is, in the cameos that he's made this far, he does not look like a £35 million player. Now, a lot of people will say time, but look at let's say, for example, Darwin Núñez. Darwin Núñez is not worth what they paid for him. And we can all see that. You can see that. You can see that already. And I'm just saying, from my looks at him so far, I don't think he's worth 35 million. I might prove to be wrong, but I'm just saying it. And the point, the reason I'm saying that is, that's by the by, but I'm just saying there was a lot of dispute in the board with regards to that transfer, and now we're seeing it now with the manager chase. I think someone needs to step in and say, look, this is not going to be met with. All I'll say is, right, look at previous management appointments that have been met with wholesale no's. Like, if you look at Rafa's tenure at Everton, I do think, he did a better job than Lampard. You know what I mean? Lampard was shocking, but what I'm saying is it never was going to end well. And I think, look, big shout out my friends at the Squareball. They've put out a poll. I'll share it with you. You know, I like to share my screen, get you involved, interactive and all that. They put out a poll earlier on that says, based on what you know, would you like Schreuder as coach of Leeds United? Now, I've done a poll, but Squareball, obviously, their numbers are insane. They've had over 5,500 votes, and it's 83.4% to say no. Now, I did put undecided because I've been doing a bit of research, and I'm like, right, okay, there are good parts. There is a lot of bad, but I'm undecided because who knows? Like, it did go well for him for a period of time at Ajax, and we'll talk about that. My friend sent me an article. There was chat of him being the perfect successor for Ten Hag. Obviously, it didn't go well. I'm only going on what I've read. I've not watched. But that's why I'm a little bit undecided. So we'll see in it. We'll see. But like I say, if I go to the poll that I've done, admittedly nowhere near as many votes, but 88% of you have said no. 88% of you have said no. So, you know, it doesn't really fill you with the utmost confidence, does it? As a Leeds United fan, you know, there was hope of us getting a top appointment. Yeah, and this is well, like Reggie, when you actually have to be objective and sit it back, they have not got one managerial appointment bar Bielsa right. Have they? They haven't got one managerial appointment right since they've been in the door. TC, Heckingbottom, Bielsa aside, they've all been woeful. Someone's just said to me, check my Twitter. I'm assuming there's been an update. Look, with the outcry from the fans, I think it might not be. I think it might not get done, but we'll wait and see. Logan Batterson, who tweeted out earlier on to say that the club have done it. He said, from my sources, I don't know what his sources are. He says he's penned a 6-month deal with potential 3 years if we stay up. We've got an Ajax fan as well responding to my tweet. Let's have a look. Let's see what I'm going to save this stuff because there's been to be fair, it's been cool to see all the Dutch fans sort of like wading in and giving us their opinion, and we'll go to that. Big up to Jody who's just messaged me there in regards to that. Phil Hayes just tweeted out. Yeah. Schroeder in the stands and the wings. This is what I mean. Someone tried to say to me he was a guest of Ten Hag, but he was actually seen by people with Victor Orta's staff, if you like. So he's definitely close. Now, The Athletic ran an article, and we'll start with that piece. Leeds United Live have profiled him as well, so we'll have a look at that. But this appointment's going to make or break Mr. Victor Orta's role, isn't it? Because I think, from everything you read and the disparity in the board, I think as soon as the 49ers come, I think he gets booted out of the door. Let's Talk Ajax says he's a poor coach. Obviously, it didn't go well there. Their most expensive assembled team. But there are also caveats to the Ajax stuff, and we'll chat about that. Obviously, Van der Sar, the technical director there, few issues at board level. Overmars no longer there. They did get rid of Anthony, Martinez, all these players all in one window, did spend a lot, but there was massive upheaval, and we have to take them things into consideration when having a look at Schreuder. It has to be said. But before we do any of that, yeah, my dog's snoring in the background. We went on a massive walk. As soon as I'd done my post-match, I put an album on and just went for a massive walk. We did about 5 miles. I just do it to clear my head. No podcast, no nothing, just pure music and away in nature. But this is the Phil Hay article. This was done half an hour ago. So this is hot off the press, if you like. Let's have a look at the main bits. I'm just reading through as you will be as well. So it says Leeds are juggling balls behind the scenes, and as Victor Orta took in a children's game in the suburb of Adel, he was on his phone constantly. He had business to handle. This will be in reference to him on the motorbike, no doubt. Shortly before 10 a.m, news must have reached him of Southampton sacking Nathan Jones, another club driven by their own loss of faith. Managers, as usual, are dropping like flies at the foot of the Premier League, and it is that time of year when teams who would rather not look twitchy cannot help but twitch. Here's a point for you. Can you imagine a situation where Southampton bring in Jesse Marsch before we even get our manager in? Southampton have already blinked twice, obviously sacking Ralph Hasenhüttl and Nathan Jones. And Leeds are enduring their own bout of deja vu back where they were a year ago. Let's not forget that the owner of the football club said it was impossible for Leeds United to go down. Going back to the article, Manchester United at home was the end for Marcelo Bielsa. Leeds took another week to sack him. Here, though, we are with the same opposition again at precisely the same time of year with Leeds in the same pickle. Have we got any names? It's just talking about the manager changes, obviously, with it working well with Wolves and Villa. Michael Scabala has done himself credit. Where's the names? Come on now. Here we go. Former Ajax boss Alfred Schreuder, Ten Hag's successor in Amsterdam, was in the crowd. And while Leeds have not indicated how close Schreuder, out of work since Ajax sacked him a fortnight ago, is to receiving the job, they are not denying that he is in firm contention while other targets lie beyond their reach. He's coming into the picture over the past 48 hours. Like I say, I'm privy to a group chat that actually said he was spotted at Thorpe Arch Hotel or somewhere in and around that, and that caused the heavy betting for him. He obviously skyrocketed in the betting all of a sudden, and then we find out he's at the game. So, you know, no smoke without fire. Scabala is expected to speak to Orta and other senior officials at Ellen Road again on Monday, but beyond that, had no expectation of anything else. Listen, Scabala said himself, we need to get one done. Yeah, that's that. So Phil here just talking about the game, really. What's kicking off in the chat? What's kicking off in the chat? Marco, come here. Do me a favour, son. Go downstairs because you're snoring your head off. Go sit with Billy. Good lad. I'll call you up after. Sorry. Even I could hear him over my headphones, and these are pretty noise cancelling, so he can go sit with his brother downstairs. Yeah, so Scabala, that was the Phil A article there, which we've just read. But like I say, he looks like he's going to be the main man who's going to come in at Leeds United. Okay, he's not been offered the job yet, but why would he fly in with his agent? As we were told yesterday, he was spotted with his agent. Why would we then invite him to the game if he wasn't close to being appointed? Makes no sense, does it? It'd be a wasted journey for him. Big up Chris Kelly. So yeah, let's have a look at his record, right? This is the bit that I know this isn't always the best place to start, if you like, but there isn't much information out there. But if we look at here, there's some really worrying things to read here. So you'll see here from this side that a lot of his time has been spent as assistant, starting at Vitesse. Obviously, he was a player, retired and then went straight in as an assistant, spent some time at FC20 with Steve McLaren, was then given the job, sacked, then went to Hoffenheim as assistant, then went to Ajax with Ten Hag, back to Hoffenheim as manager, sacked. Then he went to Barcelona as assistant to Ronald Koeman, went to Club Brugge, did well with Club Brugge, and then moved to Ajax. And obviously we know that he was sacked 6 months ago. But just to get some more meat on the bones, so it says here, look, he retired as assistant manager and then went straight into assistant manager of Vitesse. In summer of 2019, he signed with FC20 to be the assistant manager of Steve McLaren. After McLaren resigned, I'm assuming he'd come back to England, wasn't he, McLaren, at that point? Remember, he was speaking Dutch and lot. His position in February 13, Schreuder was appointed as interim manager. However, in March 13, the club officially appointed Michael Janssen as head coach and Schreuder as his assistant because Schreuder was not yet appropriately licensed as a manager. So then he obviously got his UEFA Pro license and was then installed as manager with Janssen as his assistant. So they just swapped places, if you like. And then he was sacked after winning 1 point in the first 4 matches of the 15-16 season. When I read that about him winning, like getting 1 point in his first 4 matches of the 15-16 season, when I genuinely read that, I sort of like gulped because I thought, oh my God, like imagine he comes in at Leeds and gets 1 point out of 4 games, we're going down. Like that's all I could think about. Like we need someone to come in and get results we haven't got time. We haven't got time at all. So that worries me. So obviously sacked in 2015 as manager of FC 20 after spending time there as a coach. In 2015, he was appointed assistant manager of Hoffenheim for Hub Stevens. Stevens then resigned, but he remained at the club as an assistant of Julian Nagelsmann. So it's clear Schreuder is very good in the number 2 spot, if you like. He's not been binned off he's been sacked from the top jobs, but then obviously just landing nicely as coaches. So then obviously he'd done well at Hoffenheim, and it then transpired that Erik ten Hag, obviously with him being Dutch, brought him from Germany over to Ajax to be his assistant. And then in March 19, Julian Nagelsmann moved on and Schreuder would get the top job. However, he was sacked by the club on 9th of June since his form was not up to the expectations of the board. And this is the worry, isn't it? He does well as a coach, as a number 2, steps up to the big boy league, gets sacked. So it doesn't make for great reading. So on the back of that, he then joined Barcelona as assistant manager under Koeman. Spoke to Oscar briefly yesterday and he says it wasn't great there. He signed a 2-year deal with an escape clause after the first year. Obviously that went tits up. And then he was appointed head coach of Club Brugge, replacing Philippe Clement, who left to go to Monaco. And he did win the Belgian league, at which point he was then given the Ajax job. Now, here's something to think about, right? Jesse Marsch won the Austrian league. That's his only good thing on his record. Jesse Marsch, whenever he stepped outside of that, didn't go well at Leipzig, hasn't gone well at Leeds, and I feel that we're in a similar sort of situation here. So then he was appointed Ajax manager, 22-23, replacing Ten Hag. And then in January of this year, he was sacked due to poor results. I think they went on a 7-game winless run or something like that. So Schreuder obviously got the boot. So like I say, it's never gone well for him outside of being an assistant, if you like, really. We can have a look at his actual games spent at these club. Marsh won the MLS. I could win the MLS, bro. I'm joking. Let me just change this. So this is his time. Obviously, this was him at assistant manager, as we know. Manager at 20, played 45 times, 1.42 points per game. Then manager of Hoffenheim, obviously gets the boot after 33 games. I think the main worry for me is as well, look at the amount of times he's spent at football clubs. 45 games at 20, gets the boot. 33 games at Hoffenheim, gets the boot. Yeah. 21 games at Club Brugge, does well, 2.33 points per game. But listen, so you should be doing well at Club Brugge. He had the likes of CDK, I believe. He had the likes of Noah Lang, etc. Matt Hayes, who does a lot of work on the Belgium league for the job that he does, said they were really, really good to watch. But then he goes to Ajax and only spends 26 games there. So he doesn't spend a lot of time at football clubs either, which should always be a worry, right? It should always be a worry as well. So that's just a snapshot of his career at them clubs. Now, I did have a look. I was trying to find some articles on him. It's hard to find. Even YouTube, I was looking at his specific tactics. There's talk of a 3-5-2. A lot of the formations that he's adopted throughout his career has had 3 centre-backs with wing-backs. So you might see Koch, Cooper and Vobra, 3 centre-backs. That might suit us in trying to get points with the wing-backs. Luke Ayling, maybe Rasmus, Firpo on the other side. Get the best out of Firpo that way. Sean says, would give it to Scoobs till end of the season. Why rushing into an appointment for the sake of it and get someone in the summer? I feel that that's what they're doing a little bit, if I'm honest. I do feel that that's what they're doing. Now, what I will say, there are a lot of things to take into consideration when discussing his dismissal at Ajax, because there was a massive upheaval. I found this article done by a Dutch journalist, just discussing, obviously, him initially getting the sack. This is January. This is recent. After a run of 7 league games without a win. Okay. Now, I mean, look, we won 2 in 17. We'd argue, well, that's not that bad, especially if you get a few draws in there. But this is Ajax. Yeah, this is Ajax. This is like going on a 7-game winless run as Man City. You know what I mean? It just doesn't happen as you know, I'd say Liverpool, but they're doing that, aren't they? But you get what I'm saying. In a league that's only got a few good teams, you shouldn't be doing that now. Obviously, he took over from Ten Hag, so that's something to think about straight away. But this was an analysis done by Karen Tawani, who is a Dutch-based journalist. So he said what went wrong. So it was a mix of different factors, because we have to give him the benefit of the doubt. If he is going to come in, try find out what it is that went wrong for him. So he does say in this article, you can cut Schreuder some slack in a way because of how the club has been behind the scenes over the last year. Director of football Mark Overmars' departure a year ago. There's issues at the top of the club between Huntelaar, Hamstra, and also now Edwin van der Sar. There's been a major turnover in the squad. They lost a number of players. We know they lost a number of them players. Lisandro Martinez, who's at Manchester United. Anthony, who's also at Man United as well. This is the chat here as well for those that don't think. He was actually with Gabi Ruiz, which is one of the head scouts at Leeds United, one of Victor Orta's right-hand man. So he was spotted there as well. So the turnover in the squad affected them negatively. Now, he did spend a hell of a lot of money. But obviously, just because you spend money doesn't naturally mean you're going to do better. Does that make sense? We've seen it before. Man United, for a long time before Ten Hag, just threw money at it. They bought Ronaldo, etc., just threw money at it. It doesn't really work. Do you know what I mean? You need to have a clear plan. So it is a difficult scenario for him to come into when you factor in the fact that they have lost all that key personnel. You know, I'm just trying to find the names now. I'll show you. And you can see just how many players they did use. So, obviously, they sold winger Anthony, lost defender Lisandro Martinez, striker Sebastian Haller, who went to Dortmund. And remember, Haller, while he was at Ajax, was banging goals for fun. Swear he got hat-tricks like they were going at. It was almost playing Haaland levels. Ryan Gravenberch lost as well. Went. You've got Tagliafico and Daley Blind also left the club. So that's massive upheaval, you know what I mean? Massive upheaval. And then obviously he's then had to spend a lot of money. Now it's the most that's ever been spent, I believe, by a Dutch team in one season. But like I say, we have to take them things into consideration. I think it's Karen Tajwani says here, the turnover affected the squad quite negatively. The right mix has not been there. Some signings felt a bit rushed. Obviously, the fans protested. They were waving white handkerchiefs, you know what I mean, saying, look, game over. This is a great point, Liam. Check this out. Did not know this. There you go. Ajax have won all their games since he left. So that's sort of just... basically what I'm trying to do is convince myself. I'm trying to find positives. So when I look at that and I think, right, okay, maybe that's why it didn't go well for him. But then like Liam says there, well, Joe, since he's gone, they haven't lost a game. So even that doesn't make for good reading. Because whoever's come in at Ajax has gone, right, okay, and they've just started winning games. So like Rival says, it is almost farcical, the situation that we find ourselves in. Yeah, so it's frustrating. So even when you look for the positives, you know, Jamie says, look, Ajax have won every game since he left. They have a good team. Yeah, but he wasn't able to get them to win it, you know, winless in 7, wasn't he? So even when you look for the positives, it's hard to find them because, he's lost 6 out of 18 games, mainly in the Champions League. Yeah, I think they had one of their worst records as well in the Champions League under him as well, if I'm being totally honest. I think my mouse needs charging. Just let me put my mouse on charge, folks. 2 minutes. Let me see if I can hear this. 1 sec.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
These have gone as well. These need charging. Charging all over the shop. It's been a long day. It's been a long day. I guess you heard that, right? You'll have heard that, not me. So, yeah. So, like I say, there's also issues with regards to Edwin van der Sar. I'm just trying to find positives and reasons as to why it maybe went tits up for him. Like I say, there's been a lot of issues at Ajax at boardroom level with Edwin van der Sar. This is February, just after he's been sacked. So it's clearly not going great there. But there you go. I mean, this doesn't make for great reading, does it? Ajax have been winless in 7 league games, their longest run since 1965. So that really does put into perspective just how poor he was doing. Do you know what I mean? And that's why they had their white handkerchiefs out in full force. You will have all seen the pictures. John Heitinger's in there now, and like's been said, you know, it's they haven't lost since he's gone. Let's have a look. This doesn't haphazard football decisions. Let's have a look. See if there's anything specifically on him. Listen, it's not going great at the club now, right? And obviously he's had a little part to play in that as well. His appointment obviously didn't go well at all. PRM says Leeds going for Schreuder just shows how unprepared Leeds have been for Jesse Marsh's sacking. Looks like we're at a desperate point. Ajax lost 6-1 to Napoli, by the way. Listen, what I will say for that Napoli side, they are different gravy, but you're right, losing to 6-1 in the Champions League is not great, but Ajax are different gravy right now. Obviously, they were in the same group as Liverpool, weren't we? Because Kudos got a couple of goals as well. But that's even a thing. Like, Kudos has come out and said some bad things about Schreuder. Let me just find that interview, and you could argue he did okay under him. Mohamed Kudos, Ghanaian footballer. Let's have a look what he had to say. Just give us 1 sec, because this article was pretty fresh, what he had to say most recently. Tadic as well, yeah. Tadic, who was captain at Ajax, didn't have glowing things to say. 1 sec. Just get rid of my coffee. Where is it now? Can't find it now. Okay, here we go. Mohamed Kudos takes swipe at former Ajax coach. Right, let's share this article so you can see it. And Kudos did okay under him by all accounts. Like I say, scored a couple in the Champions League, didn't he? Against Liverpool, I think. But here we go. Look, Kudos is enjoying life under new interim manager John Heitinga since the sacking of Schreuder. He said didn't enjoy much playing minutes under Alfred, as he was made to play as the arrowhead for Ajax instead of his favourite midfield position. So he was playing him out of position. Even though Kudos excelled in his new position under Schreuder, he was still not comfortable. See, I think that's a bit shit. Like, no disrespect. Like, if you've excelled in that position, then regardless of where you think you should play, if you've excelled, shut your mouth. Like, I mean that with the best will in the world. Like, if he's done well in that position, then can he really complain? No, he can't. Really, can he? Do you know what I mean? Because it's almost like Calvin coming out and saying, I hated playing that position under Bielsa. Do you know what I mean? Although he never. But, yo, Mark, if you don't want to watch, don't, mate. I'm not on no bandwagon. The guy's been seen at Ellen Road. Has any other manager been seen at Ellen Road these last 2 weeks? What do you want me to do? Not speak on it? Why are you going to come and just put that in? Like, if you don't want to watch, bro, don't watch. Them sort of comments are just nonsensical. People, we've got 782 people here, so clearly people want to discuss it. Do you know what I mean? It's honestly just stupid comments, man. Like, Joe's jumping on a bandwagon. What bandwagon? What bandwagon are we talking here? The guy is 1 to 4 to become the manager. Was at Ellen Road. Which other managers do you know have turned up at Ellen Road? Have been to visit a game with their agent? Come in with stupid comments, nonsensical comments about, Joe's jumping on a bandwagon. Them are the worst. These are the worst. This is what I'm going to say now. These are the worst that go, until the club have officially announced it, you are talking rubbish. Like, what are you on about? Honestly, it's stupid comments, man. Listen, I understand I stick my head above the parapet, but sometimes some of the comments I just think, what are you on about? Like, if you don't want to watch it, don't watch. Don't do your own editing. Because not only are you doing your own editing by watching me, you're doing my editing as well with your stupid comments. So it is what it is. So, yeah, look, on Mohamed, kudos. Like, he excelled in this position, but did say, listen, I wasn't comfortable there. It's a new position for me. But the most important thing is that I get the freedom to play the way I want to play under the new coach. So he has taken a swipe at him. But that doesn't make for great reading, is it? You know what I mean? It doesn't make for great reading that he's been giving him some flack as well. Just don't make for great reading. Now, let's have a look at some of the playing style stuff. Irish White. Check this out. Look at this from Irish White. You ready, folks? I'm going to share this with you. There you go. Congrats to new Leeds United manager. I think I could do the job. Maybe I could. Congrats to Joe Wayman on becoming the new Leeds United manager. I like that. Yeah, it definitely... Oh, hang on. He chats shit, though. He chats shit, Nicolo Schöner. Listen, it's got to that stage, hasn't it, where Leeds United fans will be buzzing if we got Nuno. It's got to that stage where we will be buzzing if we got Nuno. Do you know what I mean? If we got Nuno, like, it's got to that stage as fans would be like, Nuno in. That's where we're at. Yeah, everyone's like, Nuno, please. But that Nico Schura, whatever his name is, sorry for the pronunciation, he chats beans. Chats absolute beans. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look at some actual tactical information on Mr. Schreuder. Yeah. See, this is an article. Let me find the date on this article. This is why you're like, okay, so he was good at one point. Let me just find the date on this article. One second. It should be at the bottom of the page somewhere. Let me find it. Well, was it 2023? See, this is what I'm saying. This is the closing statement to this article. Ajax are a breath of fresh air in a sport dominated by the latest trends. Schreuder hasn't ripped up the basic principles of modern football, but the Eredivisie club are certainly one of the most unique teams on the European stage. It's not always been perfect, though, having lost their last two matches before the international break. And obviously, since then, it's gone even worse because he's been sacked. Ajax need to work on their pressing and structure when defending long balls. That doesn't make great reading for us. However, watching centre-backs rotate positions with central midfielders brings a total football feeling to the side. That right, let's go back. See, this article does make for great reading. So it says, rotating centre-backs and cut-back crosses. Here's why Ajax are the most fluid team in Europe. When you read that, you're like, wow, okay. So it must have been going well for him for a period of time. It does talk and hear about his preferred formation as well. Talks about his stint at Club Brugge as well by winning the Belgian Pro League with Club Brugge. And he did so by switching between a 3-5-2, 3-4-2-1 and 3-4-1-2 formation. So it's clear he prefers to play with a back three and then, two wing backs. So, like I say, you might see Junior Firpo in his preferred position. Luke Ayling would be great as a wing back, let's be honest. And the 3 centre backs, I think we haven't adequate enough centre backs. I've been really impressed with the form of Vober and Koch under Skubala. Add Cooper to that mix, I think, as a back 3. I think they'd do all right. Yeah, so they were initially playing with 4 at the back. He came in and switched it to a 3-5-2. And to be honest, he didn't rip things up when he did move to Ajax, though, and kept with 4 at the back. But I think his preferred formation would be, the 3 at the back. There's a lot of chat. There's a lot of positive things in that article. Same with this one as well. Like why Alfred Schreuder would be the perfect Ten Hag replacement. This was back in May of 22. Like, this is what I'm saying is like, he obviously was touted enough to get the Ajax job. This is the point, isn't it? And he has a good CV from a coaching perspective, obviously working under Nagelsmann, Ten Hag and Ronald Koeman. Like I said, there's his system, look, 3-5-2. You would imagine you would have Firpo, Ayling, the 3 centre-backs, Adams, Rocker, McKennie, Rutter, Bamford. But then where's Nonto? Where's Somerville? Where's Sinistera? Do you know what I mean, though? Like, our best players are wingers. How do you fit them into this system? I don't know how we do that. So he'd have to switch it up, definitely. Key style of play principles: playing out from the back, short passing, high tempo, possession-based football, man-orientated pressing in most situations. In most situations, using a target forward who can hold up the ball and get others to run in behind, which is Bamford, isn't it? Yeah, look, there's a lot out there. Well, there isn't a lot out there to read. It's pretty scarce. Any positive things anyway on Schreuder, but yeah, I think we have to get resigned to the fact, folks, unless the club take a look at the outcry on social media. I just want to check Squareball and see what their current poll is. Remember, I've got a poll on this video as well. But 83.2% have said no to a new manager coming in. Sorry, not to a new manager coming in, but to Schreuder coming in. That's based on nearly 10,000 votes, people. 10,000 votes. No, 83% have said no. That's insane, really. It's mad numbers. I can't lie to you. It is mad numbers. If you haven't already, smash a like on the video for me as well. We're just going to have a look at the Leeds Live article and what they profiled. Ange Postecoglou as well. That's gone really quiet. I don't know why the club are looking towards that one as opposed to Schreuder. But a lot of the key. This is something to think about as well. From Ivor, who. When the story initially broke, if you look here, Mike McGrath brought the story about him being at Ellen Road, and Ivor says, "Be warned, 16 years Ajax season ticket holder here, worst coach I have ever seen with the most expensive squad our league has ever seen. He managed to get a negative record after negative record, including his longest streak, no win, and biggest loss in Champions League in Ajax's history. Obviously failed to win in 7, which was a record at the time for them since 1956. And then obviously getting battered by Napoli in the Champions League as well. So Ivor, not a big fan of Mr. Alfred Schreuder. So that's something. Here's a counter narrative though as well, which Woody 1679, who's a Leeds United fan, did put out. He said, "Don't shoot the messenger, but I feel fans have been incredibly overreactionary with this short-term appointment. He finished 6th at Hoffenheim. They've not finished higher since. And he won the league at Club Brugge, losing 2 games. There wasn't first when he took over." So there's a counter narrative for you, but he was sacked by Hoffenheim. Even if he did get them to their highest, place, if you like, he still was sacked. But there is things to think about with Ajax. We know that they're in a bit of turmoil. Herbie replied to me earlier on as well and said he had a 71% win ratio at Bruges to get that job. And like I say, it's just been ratified by a lot of the major players, The Athletic, Telegraph, YEP, all talking about Schreuder. He is a mad one. What about Jesse Marsch as well? Apparently he's going to replace Nathan Jones. Wow, that's going to be tough, innit? That's going to be tough. Jordy, who's an Ajax fan, said it was an all-round woeful time with him as manager. His media presence, stories surrounding his people management, his decision-making in terms of tactics and subs, everything was just simply terrible. Not saying there's no scenario where he could work at a certain club, but this just makes no sense considering his Ajax period and the situation and timing Leeds are in. That's put perfectly by Geordie, who is a Ajax fan. It doesn't make for great reading, does it? So I don't know where we go from here, what we do really. Yeah, I agree. Like, this is what I said earlier. It feels like a Ranić. Proper feels like a Ranić appointment. It feels like Ranić. It feels like Jesse Marsch. It feels like TC. It just feels everything that's bad about our director of football. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it comes to management appointments. They've only ever got one right, and he's the reason we're in the Premier League. And it was beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Big shout out Phil here. And it was beautiful. But other than that, the management appointments have been tits up. Now, I do think Arne Slot and Iraola would be great appointments, but they can't get them. Should they have thought about that before sacking him? I still stand by the fact that there should have been sacked. Still stand by the fact that had we have not brought him in the first place, we'd be nowhere near where we are. Had we have maybe sacked him in the summer, should have definitely got rid of him prior to the World Cup. The guy had like 3 goals at trying to get his ideas across, and we're still in the situation. Jesse can go to Southampton. It just adds more spice to it. Isn't it mad as well? Like Cooper in his programme notes didn't even thank Jesse. Even in his programme notes. Something's gone off there, you know. Something's gone off there that we're not privy to. Because Jesse's not thanked Leeds, and the club haven't thanked Jesse or neither of the players. And neither, even in the programme notes. Big up my man Leeds lately. Remember, we'll be doing the final word tomorrow at 8 o'clock. He's saying, I think we've all been sucked into hating the idea of Schreuder by Ajax fans. He did excellent at his other clubs. He didn't do excellent at his other clubs, bro. He didn't. He did well at Club Brugge. Everywhere else has been sacked. He also plays a 4-3-3 and 4-2-3-1. Plays with a back 3 a lot of the time as well. I've just been looking, and we've just been going through some articles there where he's played a back 3 at Club Brugge. He played a back 3. Didn't change it when he went to Ajax. But I don't think he has a good record, if I'm honest. If you check, I mean, listen, I'm not going to you might be right, bro, but based on the information that we've been through, and I know you do a lot more tactical work on that than me, but he's not done well. Wherever he's been bloody sacked. He gets the top job, gets sacked, top job, sacked. Club Brugge aside, he's been piss poor. Just to show, this is his record on Wiki. You can see they're not a great win percentage. Obviously, only Club Brugge really where he did really well, and he only had a short tenure there because he got the Ajax job. But I think the time that he spent at clubs worries me as well. getting sacked by 20, then getting a coaching job at Hoffenheim, then going to Ajax as a coach, going back to Hoffenheim, sacked. Then he gets the Club Brugge job, and he did do well at Club Brugge, but is that not equal to Jesse at Salzburg? Do you know what I mean? Is that not same at Salzburg? I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't know. I don't know enough about him, and maybe I am writing him off, but I don't think I can remember a manager coming in at Leeds with such a massive amount of fans not wanting him to get the job. Do you know what I mean? I don't think I remember that, to be honest. I can't think off the top of my head someone that's come in with such of a backlash potentially. And this is the thing for me. Don't bring in a manager that's going to cause this, because if we went and played Everton and lost, then that's not going to make for great reading, is it? For Leeds United fans, definitely not. Here's Lord Ash. Look, Lord Ash has got hold of that article. Ash, man, if Ash is watching this video, he's basically he's gone on and put the article on Twitter, the little madhead. Someone sent me his tweet. I'm like, yo, I've just been reading about that. Big up to Ash. Big up to Ash. Yeah, listen, if you haven't got time to watch this video or you're late to the party, go follow Lord Ash at Ash_LUFC. It's just put out his thoughts on the Schreuder deal. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what transpires over the next coming days. It looks to me like he's going to be the one that's going to be appointed. Leeds United lost today, unfortunately. I don't think we deserve to lose. And then it's sort of further compounded with the fact that we're going to bring in a manager that's going to maybe probably... Yo, Theo. What was that comment you said earlier? And I was like, wow, really? I was really shocked by your comment on YouTube. What was it you said, bro? I responded. I need to have a look. What did you say, Theo? Where is it? I can't remember what you said now, bro, but I proper was surprised by it. Where is he? Because I thought, Theo, man, that's mad. Where is it? I'm going to find it, Theo. We can have a chat about it. Let's talk about it. Oh, I can't find it. So many comments from Man United fans. So many comments. It must be on the watch-along one, is it? So many comments from Man United fans you would not believe. You would not believe, people. They're absolutely battering us in the comments. It's all good, though. It's all views, innit? It's all views. 2-0 in your cup final, he said. 2-0 in your cup final. 2-0 in your cup final, he said. I can't find it, Theo. You know what he said. I can't remember now. I did respond to you. Oh, but what were you saying, though? What was you saying, though? I can't remember. What did you say that I had said? I can't remember. But he does look like he's running like a giraffe on skates, doesn't he? Your watch will be better. Mate, I hope he is. I hope he is. I hope he is. Yes, Ashton, Dave. If you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video. Do you know what I see as well? Like, I've seen some comments saying, oh, I don't like that you came on. Someone said this to me yesterday, yeah? You shouldn't come on tired. It's not a good look. You're losing subscribers. I'm not. Just for anyone who thinks that I am, I'm not. So I don't know where you're getting that from. I can share my analytics if you like, but sometimes I wake up and see some comments and I go, oh, right, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Danny, Everton demanded Lampard. This is a good point. Maybe the club know what they're doing. Hunar says, hey, Joe, the Ellen Road atmosphere made us will. And I said some individuals, it may have. It didn't though, bro. Fair play to you, Hunar. You know, I'm here to defend that, bro. I'm here to defend that. I think that's a situation that can transpire. Listen, I tell you what changed the game was the subs. Our subs made us weaker. Your subs made you stronger. Lisandro Martinez came on and was exceptional. What you also then was able to do is move Shaw out to left back. Shaw gets the assist for Rashford. Do you know what I mean? You're right, we are Leeds 85. I just can't help myself. Runs like Phoebe from Friends. Yeah. Heard that. Heard that. Yes, Thomas or Flattery. What's up, bro? Have you stopped me? You can't an RBS now. Yeah, listen, look, what we have to say moving forward, right, whoever the manager is, Skubala has shown us, I said that a new manager comes in and starts to get results. I think whoever this new manager is, like, we've seen enough in these 2 games against Man United, who are second in the Premier League, third now, sorry, because City won, didn't they? If we perform anywhere close to that, we'll beat Everton. We'll beat Southampton. We'll give Chelsea a game. I'm not scared of Chelsea. We've got Palace coming up. There's a lot of winnable games there for Leeds United. Let's be honest. There are a lot of winnable games there for Leeds United. Let's go. Tom says you're going down, Joe. Listen, we might do, bro. It's the first time since I've been in the Premier League that I've genuinely been worried about it. That's facts. I tell no lies. Even under Bielsa, as bad as it got, people will tell you I was not worried. I said even when Jesse came in, as much as I didn't like him, I said we'd be fine. Never doubt your boy. It's never in doubt, etc., etc. This is the first time that I've been worried about us going down. We've got Everton and Southampton up next. We've got to win them. And as for the FA Cup, people celebrating Jesse getting us through to 5th round, etc., you can stick that in the bin for me. I'm not arsed. Obviously, I'd like to progress and all that sort of stuff, but I'm not really arsed when it comes to Premier League survival. That's what it's all about. Chelsea, Brighton and Wolves in March. 3 games. 4 points wouldn't be a bad return, would it? Do you know what? I had a look the other day as well. Do you remember I put that points tally up? How many points we'll get and that? And people were like going 9, all this sort of stuff. We got like 2 points, man. 2 points. I said 4. We got 2, like. Oh, God. Yeah, C93 says Southampton and Everton are must-wins. They are. Season-defining, aren't they? Season-defining. You know, I was getting beat today. I had so many Jesse lovers come in for me, and I was like, are you mad? Are you mad, bruv? Listen, bruv. You don't know better. Bloke looks like Rosler, reason enough to worry. Exactly how Wilson. He looks like me. That's enough. That's enough. April, we've got Arsenal, Palace, Liverpool, Fulham in league. Leicester, Bournemouth. April's massive, man. How many games? And then May. Listen, if we're not safe by May, we're going down. I don't know if you've seen our run to May. I'm assuming a lot of you will have, but I'm going to share it with you. If we are not safe by May, we're going down. I'll say that much. At the state of that. Ouch. If we're not safe, if we're not safe by May, then we're going down. That's brutal, innit? Ouch. But April, that's where you got to win them. You got to know when to fold them, know when to show them, and all that. March, where's Forest then? Are we not? Does that need to be rescheduled? Where's Forest? Someone said we need to play Forest at home. Where's that then? Are you sure? Yeah, it's going to be tough, innit? But listen, when you're down there fighting for your lives, stranger things have happened. Stranger things. What a great show that is, by the way. Someone's just tagged me something on Twitter. Let's have a look. Schreuder is now 1-6 on, folks. 1-6 on. It's happening, isn't it? Schreuder's cat. Schrodinger's cat. Schrodinger's cat's going to take us down to championship. And it'll all be because they backed the wrong horse and failed to back the greatest manager we had in a generation. But yeah, less said about that, the better. You're not allowed to say that, are you? It's 7-0 of that. You got me 7-0 of that. 7-0 of that. Chill out, yeah. I know you got beat. It is what it is. Now, listen, it's all right. Who knows? It's all right. We're all loving on this channel. Out of current options, I would choose Nuno, Ball, Benitez. Even Big Sam said, call me. Why appoint a failed Ajax manager? How would he inspire players? It's a good point, mate. It's a good point. Forest game is yet to be rearranged. What's Huna saying? He's gone, man. He's gone, hasn't he? Right, someone's tagged us in something on Twitter. Let's have a look. Leeds United news. Schreuder set to become new Leeds manager. Talks ongoing on Sunday evening. Deal until the summer. Oh, God. Yeah. He's going to get the job, isn't he? Schrodinger's cat. It's happening, folks. Oh. Squareball have just tweeted out to say, regardless of your opinion on Schreuder, it's worth remembering that for whatever reason, the club said all the people on its shortlist were in work, along with Radrazani tweeting, that raised expectations about this appointment. They really don't help themselves. That's the thing, innit? Rad said, didn't he? Rad said. Do you remember? And all that shit I took for suggesting it was Corberan. Do you remember? Chris knows. And people go, whatever, you don't know what you're on about, you. Oh, yeah, so-and-so said we were never in for him and all this sort of BS. All right, okay. Anyway, the reason, where's the white smoke? Well, the white smoke was Corberan. They messed that one up for whatever reason, offering him 18 months or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? They obviously took the piss, because why would you stay at West Brom when you can come? No disrespect to any baggies watching, but why? We fumbled the bag. Yeah, done. Then we've moved on to a coach's not gettable, unfortunately, Iraola. They should have done the due diligence. They should have known all this. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have sacked Marsh, because I genuinely would rather have me in charge over Marsh. He's that bad. And anyone who wants to try and throw shade at me and saying this and this and that, it's bullshit. Jesse is a terrible manager. Terrible manager. And I will not have anyone tell me different. I'm sorry, I won't. He was terrible, and I could tell from early. Listen, a lot of people backed him. I understand their reasons for backing him. I'm not like saying, oh, you ain't got a clue, because that's not what I'm doing. I had my reasons for backing Bielsa when other people said let him go, etc. But they've failed to have an adequate enough replacement ready. They've then chose to go for a guy, people that are in work thinking they can flex their muscles. But at the end of the day, the situation we're in, because of Victor employing him in the first place and keeping faith with him, because of no, I'm not having this, right? This isn't fair. You told me to say, right, let's talk about it. You know, like let's do MGK settings. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I need to get that on my soundboard, right? You said I wasn't allowed to speak about Bielsa. You're now telling me Jesse's gone, get over it. No, that's not how it works. You can only make comparisons to the most recent manager. You can only do that, right? So you were saying to me, forgetting now he's gone. No, because we're making comparisons. If we go down, it'll be his fault. Let's talk about it. Do you know what I mean? It annoys me. It annoys me. You can't even say that. You know what I mean? Now it's stop talking about Jesse. He only went a week ago or something. Like, come on. Do you know what as well? And he's put this in your pipe and smoke it as well for those people, right, that are saying this. Yeah? You're right, Chris. They overestimated it, thinking they could make it. This is what else I'm going to remind some of you Jesse pipe smokers, right? This is what I'm going to remind you of. Jesse's parting gift to you as a Leeds United fan was injuring your top goal scorer for 2 months, all because he brought him on in a game that was won 3-0 for 20 minutes, yeah? For 20 minutes against League One opposition. Fucking hell. Get it up, you man. Jesse pipe smokers, yeah. Alex, I am triggered, bro. You did well, bro, because it was you that triggered me. You know I can easily get triggered, and that's why you love it, right? But it's true. I'm being real with you now. All the Jesse pipe smokers, remember his parting gift to you was your top goal scorer getting injured for 2 months because he brought him on in a game that was already won. 3-0 against League One opposition. So, as Andrew says, that there is game, set and match. You've just been aced, yeah? You've just been Pete Sampras. You've just been Roger Federer, yeah? You've just been Rafael Nadal, Novak Djokovic. That's what's just happened there. It went up, bang. There you go, aced. Yo, Huna. You're going to just keep typing it. I'll give you your moment. Right, there you go. Stop typing. Save your fingers, mate, for your ham shank later on. All right? Squareball said, when you needlessly set these parameters for timing and job statuses, don't be surprised that people have very little confidence in your ability to appear capable. And this is true. When an out-of-work manager who was very unpopular in his last job is mooted a week later, then you set out, perhaps Schreuder, if he gets the gig, will do just fine. But his prospective employers have already made things difficult for him because it now looks more like panicked move instead of increasingly desperate people. Do you know what I mean? That's true. They've made themselves be put in this situation by saying only a week ago, white smoke's coming. And then when fans who maybe speak their mind on Twitter, you don't even have to be a content creator, then get backlash from their own fans going, nah, because they said this. They tell lies to you. Oh, God. It is what it is. Oscar says, I'm not saying I'm worried at the minute, but I'm going to spend the next 4 months of this season in the Winchester until this all blows over. Oh, God. It's not going well, is it? And my worry is he comes in and we get beat by Everton and the shit's going to hit the fan. This should have been a moment of happiness because we get rid of the guy that was holding us back. Yeah, I'm not allowed to say his name now. It's like Bielsa all over again. We get rid of Jesse Clown Marsh, right? It should be happy days. Yeah, it should be happy days. But instead, what they've done by putting stuff out to the press, yeah, putting stuff out to the press and leaking it to their known sources and saying we're 2 minutes away and we've got white smoke ready and you'll have a manager in the morning. They've now put all this pressure on us, got us all excited to then find out we're going to get a coach who failed at every job he's been at bar one. which also stinks of your man Ranić. It stinks of TC. It stinks of Jesse Marsh. So they've caused this. That's the mad thing. They've caused this. We said this. Just don't say a word, and we'll be good. Sometimes silence is golden, isn't it? Sometimes silence is golden. But listen, I hope he comes in. Not by people will know that, you know, this is more an outpouring of like annoyance at the board and all that sort of stuff. He might come in and do well. Yeah, but like Frank says, this is the thing. Because of everything that they've done in the lead up to this decision, it's bound to go to shit. Because if he comes in and we get beat by Everton comfortably, everyone's going to go, we're going down. We're going down. We're resigned to the fact we're going down. It is. Do you know what I mean? And I've said it earlier on, Chris, and Chris is on the money. They've got one right. Heckingbottom, TC, the lot of them, they all went poor. So if the new manager... Alex, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to take it back what I said about Jesse? He's rubbish. I don't get what you want me to say. If you're genuinely wanting to die on a hill that Leeds would have been better with Jesse in charge, then I can't help you, bro. I can't save you, Alex. You look jacked. Yeah, you look jacked with your shoulders. Your delts are on fire right now on the avatar. But I can't help you, bro. Do you know what I mean? I can't help you, bro. If you think that we'd still be in a better scenario with Marsh in charge, I can't help you, man. I love you. You support me all the time, but I literally cannot help you. If you think, listen, if Jesse rocks up at Southampton as well, let him take him. Let him take him. He'll take him down. Do you know what I mean? I won't have to listen to his rubbish week in, week out. They're going to go from Nathan Jones to him. Yeah, Chris said I'd be better than Jesse. Same, man. Well, Alex, I'm going to keep mentioning him because he ruined it. All right? Go do some squat thrusts. Go do some burpees, man. Take your anger out there. Stop having a go at us. Hey, God. God, man. Yeah, someone's just said that I've not seen a backlash like this since Badgegate. Since Badgegate. I love you too, Alex, man. Oh, God. This is bad. It's really bad. If you don't laugh, you'll cry. Listen, I've kept you long enough. An hour and 15 minutes. I could sit here all night, to be honest, because you just make me laugh and you make me feel better. Make sure you check out my Man United post-match thoughts. We will be back tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Myself, Chris, Joe. Who else have we got? Oh, that's why my mouse isn't working. It's not fucking plugged in. What a knob. I don't know how I've managed to pull that out. Let me start that again. My mouse is working now. So we'll have Joe, Chris, me, Luke, Max, and Rocco. Should hopefully have them all. So we'll be here at 8 o'clock to discuss that. The Man United game. And we'll also discuss Schrodinger's cat. And see how we're getting on. I'm hoping that they might have a change of heart. But let's talk about it. Anyway, listen. Peace out. Enjoy your evening. I'm going to go cry. Mike says Joe sucks. Oh, I ain't got my Kurt Angle anymore. Sorry, bro. I'd have played it for you. You suck, Mike. You suck. You suck. Yeah, final word will be lit tomorrow. Yeah, we had over 1,000 people, last time. So let's keep that moving. I don't know. I'm thinking Schreuder.
Yeah!
Before you've even got in the door. Love you too, Mike. I'm going to let you go now. Peace out, and I'll see you on the inside.